started here in a second.
I had my sorority handshake.
Oh.
Uh-huh. It was, you went like this.
Oh.
I don't know what you.
Oh.
Because
Okay.
it was Phi Sigma Sigma.
Oh. I like the,
You want this as well?
what is it, the Parent Trap one?
Probably. I don't know, not really, but yes.
Well, you got to do it over the. Problem is that's going to feed back into something probably. Maybe not. Oh.
If you don't want to hold a mic, that's fine.
No, I probably should, just
know
to
what the mic
be
is.
kind.
Did you check the mic? I love you.
Bye, I love you. Nala, give me a big squeezy hug. I see you after. I love you. Thanks. Yeah, it's fine. Is this our? It is.
It works.
It works.
So we're doing transition meeting Tuesday.
Yes.
Officially, everybody
Yes.
was cool with it. Nobody came back with.
Yeah, nobody said.
Nobody
no one
said
said
boo?
anything.
All right, I'll send out a meeting invite.
I don't think I heard from. Maybe I didn't hear from Brad.
Brad.
Brad Eichelberger. Brad Eichelberger.
Please,
you-
please report to the bar.
Please report to the bar area. You may bring your frosé. And if you email me back, I'm sorry that I missed this. Are you good for Tuesday?
So I thought I was, but my grandmother passed away yesterday.
Oh gosh, I'm so
She was
sorry.
96. It was
Yeah.
ready to
Yeah,
go. So,
But still,
yeah, mixed feelings.
Okay,
Good to go.
yeah.
I'll
So
know more
you-
on Monday.
okay, that's
So,
fine.
'cause I'll have to
And
fly
if
back to
not,
Dallas at some point.
we can transition you in at a different
Okay.
meeting
We can
too.
also do remote. We do have all the Google
Yeah.
Meet stuff.
Yeah.
So you can jump
Yeah,
So
on
that-
I'll know
too.
for sure on Monday.
Okay, that's
So-
fine. Yeah. But I mean, if it is, then
Yeah.
we can.
Yep.
Totally understandable.
That is no
We'll just have
problem.
to, yep. My wife and I will jump on a plane at some point.
Yeah. No, you are good.
Waco, Texas.
Ooh.
The old wacko.
I mean, I guess there's worse places to go. Yeah, Bowling Green, wherever I went for curling. Did I lose? I lost Trevor. Did I lose Trevor? I lost Trevor. I need Trevor. Oh, there he is. Ooh. Hello, audience. Worldwide, yep. I'm going to be internet famous. Jazz hands. Is this on? Am I like? Are we good to go? Okay. All right. Greetings, Charlotte Curling. We will go ahead and get started. So if you need a beverage, don't have a beverage, go ahead and go grab that. All right. Well, happy Inside Out weekend. Happy last weekend of curling for this season. Excited to have all of you here. And I'm going to probably say it 3 more times, but thank you to Jessica and Leanne for jumping in at the last minute and putting this together. So I have a propensity for when something comes at the start of the month on a calendar, I don't flip it over, and then all of a sudden I go, oh, crud. So that was kind of how this happened with Inside Out. So thank you to the 2 of you for taking this and doing it together. So, all right, well, we will get started. This is our annual meeting. So at this time, we just kind of talk about our 30,000-foot view of everything at the club. We share our accolades for what has gone well, what has been a success this year, and then we talk about kind of what we're looking forward to in the future. We'll talk about our finances, our membership, and touch on all the fun points. All right, go ahead, Trevor. And Trevor is my clicker. All right, so just as a recap, this is our mission, which is to promote the sport of curling in the city of Charlotte, in the Carolinas, and across the United States. So that is when we set up our curling club, and before we had a dedicated facility, this was kind of always our goal. And I do like to think that every year we are fulfilling this through our different organizations that we partner with, through our Cocktails and Curling, our Learn to Curls, our community events, and especially this year and, well, our upcoming year where we are really going to bring the face of curling to the Charlotte area with the nationals being here at Bojangles. So another really great way that we are highlighting curling and really making it prominent in the South that we can have ice and do cool things down here. Additionally, we have clubs that probably reach out to us monthly that are looking to start a dedicated facility or starting to get ice, and they reach out to us to kind of be like, hey, what are some things that go well in your club? What are some things that you would change? So being able to also support other clubs as they are starting on their curling journey. So that is really exciting. And sometimes challenging because we are usually on the forefront of doing things and not always having the answer. Because again, having a curling club in the South, there's not a lot of people who know how to maintain our ice and do everything that we do. All right, so this is our 15th year as a club. So yeah, 15 years we have been here. So we have had 10 years of dedicated ice. So this is 10 years of this facility, but we have been here for 15 years. So I'm sure there are some people that are listening or here in this room that maybe didn't think this was gonna happen. So it's really awesome. And we still have some members with us that are still 15 years later, members of our club, Kristen Conrad, Omar. So we do have people who are truly dedicated to this, and it wasn't just a, let's get this started and move on. And I know we've had a couple of people ask, are we going to do, we did not do any celebration, we did not do anything major for this. It is exciting, but you know, every 5 years if we did something, it kind of loses its fun. So just kind of a big thing to point out, and we'll do a big one in 20. That sounds like a good one. All right, and then this time last year, we were talking about how we had just purchased a dehumidifier through our Abolish Frost campaign, and now it is here, it is working, and although some people might not think so, it is working super efficiently. Like, it is working at 100% and doing all of the perfect things that it should be doing. Everything else that we have is kind of having to adapt and catch up to it. So, you know, it is not something where our machine doesn't work, our machine doesn't do this. Our machine is highly efficient. We are just now working on the fine-tuning portions of it to get everything else where it needs to be. And there's a couple pieces that are a little bit more challenging than others. We all know about our fun little warm spot over on sheet A, but these are things that we are addressing and working on and seeing how can we make that solution now that we have this dehumidifier that is able to efficiently dehumidify our club and do everything that we need it to do. So it was really exciting that we were able to raise the funds to purchase this, and now we have it, and now it is in, and now Frank and the ice team gets to do all the fun to figure out how to make it really work and how to make our ice even better. I mean, we've had a phenomenal ice year. Like, our ice has been fantastic all year long, and yes. And so now it's just those fine little tweaks to make it even better. And then some of our other events that we had throughout the year, we were able to volunteer our club for the GNCC, for the Gordon Emmett, because they needed a place to host that. We did our slew of bonspiels. We had our 10th anniversary of our Grits and Granite spiel, which is our signature fall spiel. Again, our Fighting Hornet this past year was a U5 national qualifier. We have applied for that again for this year, for the upcoming season. We have done our color games. We had another successful year with that spring bonspiel as our new signature spring bonspiel that we have. Our cocktails and curling and our Learn to Curl events, we'll talk a little bit more about those finances in a moment, but they have been sweeping successes. Even currently, we are still getting emails for when is our next cocktails and curling, when is our next Learn to Curl, and they are already chomping at the bit to say, hey, let us be the first ones when you reopen in September. So we have really started to do really great things getting our name out into the community, and people are excited about it. So we have progressed really well as a club this year in terms of that. All right, so we're gonna start with our shout outs. These are all of our committees that we have. So any of you that are new curlers, or even maybe if you're someone who comes and curls and isn't really sure about the ins and outs of our club, these are all fantastic ways that you can get involved. Maybe you're looking at this list up here and you're like, hey, I'm really good at social media, or I'm really good about technology and think what Trevor has set up over here is fantastic. So these are all, so right now, I want to give a huge shout out to Frank Mogavero, for all of his work and his dedication to our club and to the ice that we have. So let's give Frank a round of applause. And in speaking to Frank in the spring, he's already kind of started to build this little ice crew that we have. So Joe Burnquist, Oklahoma Joe, Idaho Joe. I picked the wrong state, my apologies. Oklahoma Joe is a phenomenal barbecue spot though. But he has jumped up. I know that I saw him where I lost him. Fisher. Where did he go? Did he leave? Oh, okay. Well, Bobby Fisher has also stepped up to do the ice. We've had so many wonderful people, and I know I'm going to miss some, so I'm not even going to continue to talk. But Frank is working on building more of an ice committee. He realizes as he's doing other things with USA Curling and kind of his involvement there, that rather than being a silo of knowledge, starting to spread that out and having other people involved. So if this is something that you are interested in and you want to get to know the intricacies of our ice and you want to be involved in that, we are going to be starting that more of a committee where we can learn about our ice, learn about all of the tools and all of the equipment that is in the electrical room over there, and being able to really build up our ice capacity that we have. Next is our AV team, which is led by Trevor and Kevin Stevens. So they are our AV club. So this is, well, I guess it's not a club. It is a committee, but they work really hard to make sure that we have our streaming so that when you go onto our YouTube channel, you can YouTube our league nights, you can YouTube our bonspiels that we have. All of that information is up there. And they also kind of make sure that our squares are working and our bar tabs are getting closed out and that we no longer can spin our iPads around and they don't break. So they take care of all of that stuff that we see at our internet and everything else that kind of runs behind the scenes along with our screens. Our bar, Joe Moore, and all the dedication that comes into the bar, it is much more intricate than just buying alcohol and making sure that we are stocked and refilling when we are out. There is a lot that goes into it, and a lot with the state and a lot with the Alcohol Control Board, and being able to work with myself and Kevin and Nate to make sure that we have all of those things up to date and our bar certificates and everything. So shout out to Joe for all of his work on that. Our Curler Development Committee was started this year with Neil, and then he has passed the torch to Brad Eichelberger, who has taken over our Curler Development Committee and our Saturday Developmental League, and really helping our new baby curlers that come in and making sure that they are not only feeling welcome, but they are feeling included. They are feeling that they've got a place to go, that they can ask questions about the sport, and that they can grow, and they have a space to learn and do that. Our facilities, Tom Kazakinis. Tom has jumped in after Trevor, not Trevor, oh my goodness, you're Trevor, after Tucker, for taking over our facilities, and he has done a phenomenal job of, a lot of times it's just like, oh, hey, this is leaking a little bit. And the next thing you know, Tom has jumped in at a random hour and has fixed it and made it better than ever. He also has taken care of all of our ice machine in the back, like our actual drinking ice, and made sure that that is clean and up to date and all of the parts in there are new. So he's just really kind of been a jack of all trades to come in and fix all of the little things that happen, including stall number 1 in the women's bathroom, if you know. Our pro shop, Misty takes care of our pro shop and our ordering. This year, she has also expanded our pro shop, so we are no longer just officially Gold Line. We have expanded out to other curling brands that are there, so now you can get items from Hardline, Balance Plus, things like that because of her dedication and partnership with organizations. She's also done a really great job with our t-shirts so that this way we can have our little, our design contest that we have that kind of helps drive our shirt sales and taking care of just everything that we have, so we have it over there. And that we have grippers. Next is social media. That is Megan Wright, who has been doing that. We also have Kristen in the background who kind of takes care of our Google and Yelp things, but Megan Wright does take care of all of our items on social media. And this is an area that, hey, if you are like, I am Instagram savvy, TikTok, Facebook, all of the other things that are out there of social media land, if that is something that you are savvy in and you are interested in, please let us know, because this is an area that we certainly can use some extra hands on. and Megan would like to expand her committee as well.
This year too, with all the Olympics and whatnot.
Yes.
The message out is going to be huge for us. So social media is going to be very big.
Yeah, so if you didn't hear what Kevin said, with this year coming up with the Olympics and the Nationals and all of the other kind of frenzy that comes around with curling during the Winter Olympics, we really need to make sure that we are hitting our social media outlets hard. So if this is something that you are interested in or you think you like to dabble in, any to know experience is welcome. And then we have our partnerships with the GNCC, our Grand National Curling Club, and that is Leanne Havley, who has jumped up as our member rep on there. And then our USWCA, so our women's, the US Women's Association, that is Jen Mogavero, who has jumped up, and she is our rep for them, and making sure that we keep those partnerships alive and well. And then our website, a huge thank you to Oscar Fernandez and Kevin Stevens again for jumping in and working with Warm Room Hero to really kind of up our website and really get it up to snuff and where we are with it. It has come a long way. This time last year, we were just in our infancy of it and having a new website. Now we are able to not only have it on laptops and desktops, but it's easier to see it on our phones and access everything. And it really just kind of makes it our one-stop shop. And we are working with Warm Room Hero to see what else can it do for us. So hopefully in the future, being able to do our elections, being able to do sign-up geniuses in there and kind of have it all embedded. So it really is our home away from the club for everything that we need. And then at the bottom, these are some areas that we have, but we are certainly in dire need of help for. So one is our Financial Services Committee, the fun of making sure that we have a budget and that we are balancing it and that we have, we know what our expenses are and what we are using to purchase. Nate is an amazing treasurer on so many levels, but he needs a team to also help him. So if you are in a financial mindset, which is the opposite of me, please reach out to us because we would love to help build that so that we can have a strong committee and know exactly where our money comes in and where it comes out and what we can use when a member says, hey, we'd like to have this tool out on the ice, that we can say, oh yes, we do have the funds for that, and how we can allocate that. Bonspiels, we have amazing, amazing, amazing individuals in this club that have stepped up to volunteer and have done our Bonspiels on an individual basis. So essentially each Bonspiel has its own committee chair. But what we have kind of walked away from a little bit is having an overall Bonspiel committee, having someone with that background knowledge, having someone to go to talk about and kind of run by things rather than it being the board officers. So if you are interested in seeing how Bonspiels work, or you're like, hey, I've done a Bonspiel and I really enjoy this, I would love to hear from you so that way we can build up our Bonspiel committee. I know Dana Daralak has done it in the past, and she was a wonderful overall Bonspiel chair, but it does get to be a lot when you don't have additional people to help. So please think about joining. Our marketing, again, all of our advertisements that we see on the ice, all of another way that we keep our costs down. So if you have a marketing brain or you are good at kind of sales, we would love to hear from you too, so that way we can build up our marketing, we can build up our ad space that we have out there. We had a bunch of banners previously, and they have slowly dwindled down. We've had some great new ones in the ERT that has joined us for this season and kind of helping. They also took care of our wonderful mold gate that we had about this time last year. So they were awesome to jump in, but we would love to also have our marketing. We have a plan, we have everything mapped out, but we just have to have somebody to kind of have the drive to go and do that. So if that's something that you're interested in, we would love to hear from you as well. And again, another plug for our ice. All right, our next shout out is for our league commissioners. If you are a league commissioner and you are in this room, please stand up. I'm gonna call your name, so you're gonna find out anyway. Yes. This is another thankless job that we have that demands a lot of time and a lot of attention and a lot of energy. And our league commissioners do this, and some of them are doing it for multiple leagues. And without them, we would not have a schedule, we would not have times, and they really have to do a lot on the back end to make this work. So thank you to them. So our leagues that are up there, we have our Sunday Sinners League. We have leagues going every night of the week. So we have our Sunday Sinners, our Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, our Wednesday afternoon, our teacher league, which all of us teachers in here joke about that it really isn't a teacher league because no teacher can get here at that time. We have our Wednesday doubles, our Thursday day, Thursday night, Friday night, our Saturday developmental league, our Little Rockers, and hopefully bringing back our juniors as we start to get some families that are coming in here with older children so that way we can build our juniors program that we have. So I want to say thank you to Sarah Calcutt, Shane Strom, Adrian Cruiser, Leanne Havley, Ann Pfeiffer, Kevin Stevens, Barry Klein, Tom Kazakinas, and Alex Shearer for all of your work that you've done. And Susan McIsaac too. She was on my next list, I'm sorry. Sorry, Susan. For all of your hard work that you've done throughout the season. We greatly appreciate you, so let's give them another round of applause. All right. And then these are our key events that we have had this year. So our signature fall spiel, Grits and Granite, that was run by Nicole Smith, and she did an amazing job, and she is joining us again next year, and she's already planning our Grits and Granite that we will get to, and she has also enlisted the help of Catherine Cantrell to jump in for next year. So we are going to have another wonderful Grits and Granite in the fall. Our Fighting Hornet, that was done by Sarah Bush, and she did a wonderful, that was the most magical bonspiel on the planet for our 5 and under curlers. That was one of our national qualifiers, and we have again applied for that to be a national qualifier coming into the upcoming season. Our Southern Mixed Cash Spiel that we have after the holidays, kind of before New Year's, that is run by Brady, and he does a phenomenal job getting some really elite mixed doubles players in here, and we have some really awesome curling that happens during those weeks, so it's really great to come up here and see that. The GNCC, we had the Gordon Emmett this year, and Neil nicely jumped in to help support that and help get that off in the air. So that was another great event that we had. Our color games, which was run by Dana. Dana took care of that one again this year, and it was always, I think the warm room is the best that we ever see it when it's during the color games. So you always do a phenomenal job both on the ice and off the ice with that.
Ann helped a lot with that.
Oh, and Ann, so you're getting your shout out as well, so thank you. You had a good committee, you had about 4. It was you and Misty and Kelsey. Yep, so thank you everybody for that one. Our USWCR All-American, that is something that is kind of Brady's bread and butter. He loves that one. And it is also a phenomenal event for the women here in our club, and it really does help to promote our sport of curling that we have, and just to see how many female curlers we have at the club and the way he works to make sure that they are all blended together, so there's not one, the teams are so evenly mixed. He takes a lot of time in that one to do that. And our Inside Out Spiel, again, thank you to Leanne and Jessica for jumping in so that we could have that again this year. And then our last thing is our corporate events that we have. So Dave Allison has been at the helm of our corporate events for 4 years now? Is that, oh, I was way off. Again, math is not my thing. So for 7 years, Dave has taken care of our corporate events, which are our businesses, our organizations, and it is one of the top 3 ways that we bring in revenue into this club. And Dave has graciously taken care of that and made sure that everyone has had a wonderful experience both on the ice and off the ice through these. So Dave, I want to give you a big round of applause for all the work that you do on that. Dave has decided that it is time, I guess 7 years was enough, to pass the torch. So he is currently working with Steve Schultz, and Steve Schultz is going to be our new corporate events planner and working with our organizations in the community to help with that. So he is working on transitioning that so that he can finally just get back to doing work and not having to do curling things while also at work. All right. All right, so here are our membership numbers. We are ending the 2024-2025 season with 221 members here at the club. So thank you to all of you for being a member, but also finding your friends, finding your coworkers, finding your gym buddies to come and also be a member here at this club. So that is where we are at the end of this year, is 221 members. And you can see our previous year, so last year we did end with 253 members, the year prior 254, and in 2021, 2022, 240 members. So we do tend to see a little bit of a decline right now, but we are very excited with the push for the Olympics that we are going to build our numbers back up and be back up in that 250 range, which I think is absolutely possible. One of the pieces that does play into this is, as Charlotte, we are a transient city. I'm not sure if anybody in this room is actually originally from Charlotte. You might be a unicorn if you are. There you go, we have a unicorn. But so we know that people come and they go. So we have a lot of people who start at this club and they move, or we also have people who have moved to this area specifically for a curling facility that we have there. So that is really exciting. And it's also fun when we go to Bonspiels at other places that we find out that, hey, someone is thinking about moving to Charlotte because of their business and they want to know how they can get plugged in here. So this is a really cool social hub that we also have and can kind of get people interested in coming here solely because of this space. All right, this is Nate's fun spot. And this is our financial recap. So where did we start the year and where did we end the year? So when we started and we opened the club on September 1st, when we started, we were at $327,852. We are ending the year, it's all good, Omar. We are ending the year at $340,164.11. So this is all thanks to everything that we do in here. And it's like, that sounds fantastic. We have a lot of money. Yay. We are a not-for-profit. What does this mean? What does this roll into? Nope, you're good. So here's kind of our breakdown. Where does our income come from? Well, the first thing that comes from, our largest, is our membership. So our membership, we bring in about $100,000. That approximately pays for 1/3 of what we need to run this facility. So our dues are low. We would like to keep our dues low in comparison to some of the other clubs that we have in the area. And how do we do that? How do we then offset that? Because as I said, it does only pay for about 1/3 of what we need here. Well, our other two highest contributors are our bar. Shocking. So our bar revenue this year was about $70,000. So way to go, everybody. That's goals for next year. Goals for next year. I want to see it higher. And then our third highest area that we have is our corporate events. So again, thanks to Dave and everyone who has volunteered for one, we have brought in $65,000 with our corporate events. And then our next highest is our Bonspiels. Our Bonspiels bring in about $48,000. And then we have our Learn to Curls and our Cocktails and Curling, which bring about $40,000 in. And then our Pro Shop revenue is about $16,000. So those are all the assets that we have coming in that kind of makes up our revenue that we have. But as money comes in, money also needs to go out. And so right now we still have our building loan. So we have $90,000 in our building loan that we have. Our capital improvement, our expenses for that is about $31,000. Our energy bill, we use a lot of energy to keep this building cold. And we were at $33,000 for that. And then our national dues, so our memberships that we have to our GNCC, to USA Curling, that comes in for our members at $11,000.
Julie,
I need to take a breath.
just to note on the loan, that's per year. We still have several years left on that.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
I was getting ready to say, is that all we have left on?
No, sorry, yeah. Yes, thank you. Well, exactly, and no, but that is $90,000 that we pay per year on our loan for here. But Tim, you bring up a good question, is that we then look at our money that we have, and it's like, well, why aren't we paying off our loan, or why aren't we doing that? Can you go to the next slide, Trevor? And, oh, sorry, no, we're not there yet, but that's fine. It can stay there. But we also need to keep money in our reserves for any kind of catastrophe that we have. So we want to have approximately a year's worth of operating fees as a reserve. And case in point, after we melted down the ice and we had an entire incubator of mold down here, that we were able to remedy that quickly. We were able to get the right people in. We were able to get that resolved. And we did not have to worry about the financial strain that could have put on us because we have that reserve that we have. Okay, now you can go. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just making sure I have not missed anything. Okay. All right. So here are some of our financial milestones. We now own our rocks. These are ours. We have paid off that loan. Yes. So that doesn't mean we can break them, but we own them. We had the completed installation of our dehumidifier, so abolish frost. We had that. So we've also paid off a Pinnacle equipment loan. So more of our equipment that we have, that when we did our startup to get here, we now own more of our club, more of our things that are here. And we also, a huge thank you to Steve McKee and his team for working with Pinnacle to refinance our real estate loan. We were up for our loan in the start of the season, which was in September, so you can all remember how wonderful the interest rates were and still are. And we were able to negotiate that to a much more manageable place of where we were previously. So we were able to get that refinanced so that way we can continue to pay that down. All right. So what does this all mean? So as I've mentioned, this was my slide I was looking for. We do want to keep about a year's worth of expenses in reserve in case we have a catastrophe. Hopefully there's no more COVID or anything like that, but that way we can still keep the lights on and we don't have to worry about our club shutting down because A, we don't have any money for it. As you can see from just our energy bill, it's $33,000 to keep our lights on. And then also we had less corporate events this season. We were trying to balance our leagues, we were trying to balance our bonspiels, we were trying to balance everything that we do in a season and also get it done before we have to melt the ice. So we did have a few less corporate events than what we have done previously, so that did impact our final line as well. But this is also some of the reasons why our dues are low. But the biggest piece why our dues are low is because of our volunteerism. So I'm going to plug this 10,000 times, but we need your time. We need your time. We need you to be at the club, not just on league night, not just when it is a bonspiel weekend. We need you to come up and help and volunteer. When we don't have the volunteers, that's when we have to reach into our funds and we have to pay for a bartender. We have to pay to have someone come in and cater food. We have to do all of those pieces that we don't do in-house that does come out of our budget. So if we don't have the volunteerism for it, then we need to find that money from elsewhere. And as I jokingly said to Nate, we'll get your money one way or the other. So we would like to have it through your volunteer and through your time and not through having to raise our dues. So please, please, please think about it as especially we're going into the fall, volunteering. And I know Leanne, who has moved, there she is. We are working over the summer to kind of how do we better support our volunteers? How do we better support having people in this club and helping and growing, especially as we are going to have that big Olympic push. We are going to need all hands on deck for this and everybody involved in this. So how do we make it that you want to come in here? Having your free beverage or having that piece is nice, but what else can we do to help you and have you be in here? So, as I said, this drives our club. It keeps our membership dues low. It also connects us with the community. When we have our corporate events come in here, when we have our Learn to Curls, our cocktails and curling, we are meeting people in the community. We are the ones who are selling this club. We are the ones who are then getting those people to then turn in from just, oh, I want to try curling and see this. It looks really easy, and finding out that it's not, into members that are here and have been here for 5+ years. So when we do our volunteers, we are our #1 sellers. We are the best people to talk about this game that we love, and we are the ones who are going to get other people to come in here. And it also just provides us with additional opportunities. Maybe you find someone, you have a job connection, or you find someone who can support in the community, and you can reach out to someone who works in the Humane Society or something. I've made some really awesome connections through that. So it's a really great way just to kind of network in the greater Charlotte community as well. Or you can find your future husband or wife or partner. All right, so looking ahead, I promise we are almost done. I wanted to keep this under 30 minutes, so I'm sorry. Looking ahead, we have an exciting year coming up. We have a really, really exciting year. We have a really busy year coming up, yes. So we are going to be starting our season off with the USA Curling pre-trials in September. That's going to start off our season, and that is going to be right here in our club. So after the ice gets melted and we put the ice back in, that's going to start off our season to kind of work on what are the pre-trials for the Olympics. So there's going to be some really high quality curling that is coming in here. Then we are also doing some events with our international bonspielers, so our Puerto Rican Curling Federation, the Nigeria Curling Federation, hopefully. will be joining as well, and they're going to be doing a training session here and kind of building their elite curlers that they have at this level. And you know, there's also this thing called the Winter Olympics that are happening. So that, huh?
What's that?
What's the Olympics? Oh wait, you do that sport with the broom and you just push? So that's coming. That is going to be a huge driver of our club. We are working with everyone, our league commissioners and a dedicated team on our calendar to see, hey, how do we make this the most of what we can, and how can we drive that revenue? How can we drive our membership? And how can we really go back to our mission of bringing curling to the Carolinas and making more people aware of that? And then we also will have the U.S. Curling Nationals. That is going to be immediately following the Olympics, and that will be at Bojangles. So while that is not here at our club, we're going to have a lot of people in Charlotte that are going to come and they're going to see these elite curlers again play. So how can we help support that? How can we get them out of the doors at Bojangles and into our club and trying rocks here and turning them into members here? And then that's in addition to everything else that we already do. So our Learn to Curls, our Cocktails and Curling, our Bonspiels. What? Oh, sorry, I thought it was. So that is just in addition to. So we have a busy and exciting year, and I am so excited for our current board and the board members that are staying on this board to help drive that, and along with our new members that will be joining us as well. So I want to give a huge thank you to the following people on this board. Nate Wright, who has a very highly thankless job in being our treasurer and making sure that our bills get paid, making sure that we have our liquor license, making sure that our lights can stay on, and everything else that has to come and get paid. Kevin Stevens is our secretary, making sure that we have all of our minutes are noted and getting up on the website, and making sure that we have all of our correspondences done, making sure that our mailbox gets checked over at UPS because it's not here. And then Neil has finally gets to be done. He finally gets to just come and curl and relax. Sure, that's exactly what he's thinking when I said that. But he has served his time not only on the board, but then as president, and then now in this past year as our past president. And then we have our 3 board members who are rolling off. So Jeremy, Dana, and Matt. So they have done wonderful things for our board. They have helped us grow. They have helped bring new thoughts, new ideas, just fresh faces and fresh ideas to our club. So I want to give the 3 of them a huge round of applause for all of their work that they have done. And always know that you can run again. And then we have Leanne, Marietta, and Amy June, who are staying on our board. So thank you for stepping up to also be on the board. And Marietta, I could probably thank you for countless of things that you do here in the club, from the hospitality committee, running the kitchen, and making sure that we are fed and happy, and just all of those things that you do with your team. So I want to give a huge thank you to Leanne, Marietta, and Amy. And now it takes us to the part where we get to say who is going to be our newest board member. So as we have 3 rolling off, we have 3 that are coming on. And so congratulations to Tom Kazakinas, Brad Eichelberger, and Catherine Cantrell. Being on the board is challenging, it is demanding, and it is very rewarding. You get to see all of the ins and outs that come into this club. So thank you to the 3 of you, and also to Mark Zankin and Alex Shearer for both running for the board. It is important that we have members who are interested and involved and want to see this club better and want to see this club exist so that we can have another 15 years here. So if this is something that you might think you're interested in, please come and talk to anybody, because it really is an awesome experience to get to see all of the inner workings that come, and it is not just coming out and throwing some rocks and leaving. So if that's my plug for future board members, but congratulations again to Tom, Brad, and Catherine. I'm really excited to have to practice spelling all of your last names. I'm happy that Catherine has an easy one. And our next, this was a close race. Stain. It was a very close race between a wonderful gentleman named Ab Stain and Kevin Stevens, but I am proud to say that Kevin Stevens is our new president-elect. So Kevin and I will get to continue to work together as we've been working through secretary and president, but we will get to work together now as president and president-elect. So I'm really excited for that team that we are going to have, and I'll be also very excited this time next year to be able to pass that broom on over to you so that you can start this in our left hands. Yes, and we also are building our left-handed board. So again, another plug, if you're a lefty, please join the board. Oh, we got a lefty in the back. We are. Got more people.
Who's the lefty in the back? All right, good to know.
And he also and he also raised his left hand. He knew. Yeah. He knew. All right. Well, I have talked too much. I want to make sure that I have not missed anything. But I do just want to, again, say thank you to every single one of you. You make my job easy. You make this position easy because you are all here, you are all dedicated, you are working, you are helping, you are supporting, you are growing this club. And I personally could not do that without the help of everyone in this room, everyone who's probably watching, hopefully. And I just really thank you for all of your hard work, your dedication, and your commitment to this club and this quirky little sport that we all love so dearly. So before I actually turn off the mic, I do want to announce our signature fall spiel. Grits and Granite will be opening for, let me flip my, there we go. Yep, so it will be opening for registration on June 1st at 6 p.m. For those of you who may not know, Nicole Smith is our Bonspiel chair for that. However, she is going to be having her baby around Grits and Granite time, so she has linked up with Catherine, and Catherine has kindly offered to help out with the week of events and the weekend of events for Grits and Granite. So it is going to be an amazing weekend. I know what the theme is, but we're not going to say it yet, but it's going to be fantastic. It is going to be fun. And they've got a lot of things planned, and the opening for it is going to be June 1st at 6 p.m., and Grits will be on October 16th through October 19th. So if this is something you're interested in, get that on the calendar now. All right, again, everybody, thank you so much. That is a great question, Omar. That was not in my blurb. Omar asked how many local teams. I will get back to you on that. Yeah, same as last year. I will find out for you, Omar. It did not come in my blurb, but we will get that. So yes, I just want to say thank you again. Thank you for all your hard work. And for those of you who love this club and even outside of off the ice, we will be doing curl gating in June. Tom is nicely at the beach right now. So once we get that date, but curl gating is the time during our year that we are able to get everything done in our warm room. We are able to get everything done out on the ice because ladders and ice don't mix. So we will have that event in June, and if we need to, we will have another event in August. But curl gating is that time. Ryan, was that my time's up? Yeah. She's done. But curl gating is when we paint, when we clean up, when we spruce up our chairs, when we screw things back together, when we repair all the things that we haven't had a chance to during the season. So please, if you are handy, or even if you're not handy, and I come up, there's always tables you can wipe down, but we will have that date in June. And also there is in the email, my last part, there is going to be the melting of the ice. And please don't make Frank do it by himself. He can't do it by himself. But there is a Sign Up Genius that you will also see again in your weekly communication that says to help out with the ice melting. So if you are interested in seeing how that works and how we roll up all of our sheets and get everything prepared again for the off season, that would be a great time to sign up and help. Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. You will continue to hear through the emails. They will probably be about once every 3 weeks in the summer, just so we're keeping up with everything that is going on at the club and over the summer, and to let you know when registration will open up in the fall. And as always, if you're on Facebook, please reach out on there, and we'd love to get together over the summer when we're not curling. So thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of Inside Out, and we'll see you in the fall.
Thank you.